What if I told you that the most dangerous battlefield on this entire planet isn't a war zone at all? Forget borders, forget trenches. There's no terrain to take, no ground to hold. What if I told you it's a place you carry with you every single second of every single day?
Think about it. It's a space that's totally intimate, completely uncharted, and for the first time in all of human history, it is about to be conquered. So what is this most dangerous battlefield? Well, it's the 6 inches between your ears. Right now, as we speak, a technology is being built, and its purpose isn't just to heal the human mind, but to merge it, to fuse it with machines. And you need to understand, the people bankrolling this revolution, they don't wear lab coats. They wear uniforms. They work at the Pentagon.
Okay, so how did we get here? To understand that, we've got to go back. See, this whole story, it doesn't start with a weapon. It starts with a promise. A promise so noble, so politically perfect that nobody would ever dare to question its motives.
You've probably heard the headlines. Back in 2006, DARPA starts this program revolutionizing prosthetics, right? Giving mind-controlled limbs to wounded veterans. Heroes. Then, 2013, the White House announces the Brain Initiative. We're going to cure Alzheimer's, map the mind. I mean, these are beautiful, inspiring stories. How can you argue with that? But here's the catch. To make a robotic arm move with just a thought, you have to solve a much, much bigger problem first. You have to decode the human brain itself.
And once you can do that, once you can take the raw electrical chaos of human intention and translate it into clean digital ones and zeros, well, you've just unlocked something way more powerful than a prosthetic arm. Don't get me wrong, the benevolent mission, it was real, but it was also a shell hiding a much darker purpose.
Think about it like this. The very same algorithm that lets a veteran close a robotic hand is the same one that helps a pilot bank a predator drone thousands of miles away. The technology that gives a paralyzed person control over a cursor is the exact same technology that could give a single soldier command over an entire army of machines. It's 2 sides of the same coin.
So you see, the medical mission was never the real end goal. No, it was the delivery system. It was the perfect Trojan Horse, a beautiful humanitarian gift, carrying a much larger classified objective deep inside, the total integration of man and machine for the singular purpose of war.
But there was a snag, a big one. You can't just go cracking open the skulls of thousands of your top fighter pilots. It's not practical. The military needed a way in, but without the surgery. So, enter DARPA's N3 program. The goal? A high-resolution brain interface that requires 0 surgery. And the methods they're exploring, I mean, this is straight out of science fiction. We're talking about injectable nanoparticles that turn your brain into an antenna, genetically modifying your neurons so they can be controlled by a flash of light, even using magnetic fields to literally play your brain like an instrument.
And right on cue, here comes the man who made brain chips. Cool. Elon Musk. Neuralink. It's presented to all of us as this Silicon Valley miracle, right? But what if I told you it serves another, much quieter function for the military-industrial complex? Because you have to understand, the real metric that separates a medical device from a military weapon, it isn't the technology itself. It's one single word: bandwidth. It's not just about reading a signal. It's about how much data you can move. The difference between a tool that heals and a tool that kills, it's just a matter of scale.
Okay, look at it this way. To help someone move a cursor on a screen, you need just a whisper of data, maybe 100 channels. But to fuse a pilot's consciousness with an AI, to make them feel a drone swarm as if it were an extension of their own body, you don't need a whisper. You need a raging river of information. We're talking thousands of channels, megabits per second. And Neuralink, they're not building the whisper, they are building the river.
But here's the really brilliant part. Neuralink's most powerful contribution might not even be the chip itself. It's normalization. Every time you see one of those heartwarming stories, a paralyzed patient moving a limb again, it lowers our collective resistance. It makes the idea of a brain implant feel less alien, less scary. It makes the unthinkable acceptable. And that right there paves the superhighway for the military's ultimate ambition.
So, the big question is, why? Why is the Pentagon pouring billions and billions of dollars into all of this? The answer is simple. The future of warfare has a fatal flaw, a bottleneck, and the human brain is the only thing that can fix it. The future battlefield is all about the swarm. We're talking hundreds, even thousands of autonomous drones acting as a single organism.
But here's the problem. One human, with a joystick and a screen, they can't control that. The cognitive load would crush them. But with the direct brain interface, the pilot doesn't fly the drones anymore. They become the swarm. Each machine is like a nerve ending. Their will is the only command needed. They feel the entire swarm as their own body.
And it goes way beyond just control. Have you heard of DARPA's Silent Talk program? The goal is to decode the words you're about to say before your lips even move. The result? Synthetic telepathy on the battlefield. Instant, silent, completely unjammable communication. Thought itself becomes the new radio signal.
What this all leads to is the complete collapse of something called the OODA Loop. It's the sacred cycle of combat decision-making. Observe, orient, decide, and act. For any normal human, that loop takes time, even if it's just fractions of a second. But for a pilot whose brain is literally fused with their jet's AI, tactical data isn't something you read on a screen anymore. It's something you feel, like an instinct. The loop doesn't just get faster, it disappears entirely. The pilot and the machine, they just become one. But this is where we have to stop and confront the most terrifying step of all. Because for this to truly work, a brain interface can't just read signals from the brain, it has to be able to write signals to it. And once you open that door, well, there might be no closing it. It's a simple, terrifying distinction. Read access is your mind controlling a machine. Write access is a machine controlling your mind. It's the ability to send signals into the brain, not just listen to what's coming out. And at that point, control becomes something else entirely.
With right access, it becomes possible, at least in theory, to implant emotions directly into someone's mind. Fear, calm, aggression. You could create false memories of things that never actually happened. An enemy doesn't need to jam your radio, they could jam your entire sense of reality. You know, the movie Inception? It stops being science fiction. It just becomes an engineering problem to be solved.
And what about for the soldiers who sign up for this willingly? A commander could soon monitor not just their position on a map, but their internal emotional state, their level of focus, their doubt, even their loyalty. The last private sanctuary any human has, their own mind, suddenly becomes just another node on the network, readable, searchable, and auditable.
And this just opens up a Pandora's box of questions we are not even close to being ready to answer. I mean, think about it. If the interface between your mind and the world is now digital, can your senses be hacked?
If your deepest emotional state is just another stream of data flowing across a network, can your loyalty be measured, quantified, and audited by an algorithm in real time? And if your very perceptions of the world can be altered without you even knowing it's happening, then we're left with the most fundamental question of all. Who's in control of your reality? Is it you, or is it the people who wrote the code?
Because when the war is over, the nanoparticles don't just flush out of your system. The interface doesn't have an uninstall button. The soldier becomes a permanent, walking, breathing piece of classified government hardware. They can never truly leave the battlefield, because now the battlefield is inside them. The final enclosure, the ultimate prison, isn't made of steel and concrete. It's your own skull.